it in the future. So just checking your posture. We're going to start with the root chakra, the root energy center. I've got myself a scientific background, so I'm not looking at these in any very mystical sense, but just the fact that it does seem that the central axis of the body feels as if energy flows up it like a fountain. Vitality, life, that's where our life seems to be. And it needs a basis right down in where our bottoms are contacting the seats, the cushions. And we can take our attention there. So that we feel supported, we feel stable. We know we're not going to drift away, we're not like a balloon. Gravity is just keeping us anchored to the ground. So stay with that root, that base center, energy center. And pay attention to it with your attention reaching into it with the rhythm of the breathing. Breathing out, we settle, we relax. Breathing in, we detect the energy that's beginning to flow, even as if it flows from the ground into our spine. And this is a way to really root ourselves like a tree. Base energy center. If your mind wanders, just come back again to that part of the body that's supported by the chair or the cushions. Feeling rooted, feeling connected, feeling grounded. And then very slowly we let our attention rise up. And if you can be this sensitive, you can have it rising up near the spinal column. In other words, near the back and the front of the body, but inside. Movement of energy, an awakening of energy, until we reach what's called the hara. Here we're in the middle of the abdomen, about 2 finger widths above the belly button, but deep inside. And in a way, this is the center of our breathing. Because as we breathe, our tummy rises and falls. Our abdomen swells as we breathe in, and releases as we breathe out. So here's the most robust energy center of the body, the very center of our being, the place from which we move, a place of stability. So paying attention to the movements of the stomach and the abdomen as we breathe. Allowing that to calm us. Thoughts and words and images that pop up in the minds, they can just drift down. Like birds landing on a lake. They stop flapping, they become still, and just aware of the tidal movement of the water of the lake. The whole lake is the hara, the energy center. So as we breathe, we're aware of the base and also the hara. And we allow our attention to rise upwards to the heart center, which is not the heart itself, but it's around that level, in the very center of the body, behind the breastbone. It's nourished and fed by the energy from the lower centers and from the ground. So we can allow our emotions to wake up. Our emotions are not under conscious control. We just let be there what is there in our hearts. We may be happy or sad, excited or sluggish, maybe some apprehension or some curiosity. Whatever's there, always changing, we absorb it. We let it be in touch with the body and expressed through the body. Then we let our attention rise further to the throat center, around the larynx. And this is where our thoughts produce little movements, trying to speak. So notice as thoughts arise in your mind, can you feel the sensitivity there in the throat center? And any tension that's produced by those thoughts, we let it melt downwards into the rest of the body, because we're connected with the base, the hara, and the heart. It's such a relief to feel in connection with the whole of ourselves. Each part is kind and sensitive to the other parts. Feelings come into the throat from the heart. Thoughts go down into the throat from the head. There they mingle. There they release and relax. So feeling that connection like a young sapling growing from the earth. Our roots are deep, below the base. Nourishment and energy rises up our central column, from the base to the hara, from the hara to the heart, from the heart to the throat. There's no rush, but when we feel connected, we can bring in the head center, which is behind the forehead, behind the area between the eyes. And this can be tense at times if we have worries, if we have too much on. But let it connect with the whole of the rest of the body. Let any tensions drift downwards and release and melt. Let any thoughts drift downwards, release and melt. So now the whole body is breathing. You can feel that rhythm in each center. We can feel the breath connecting our centers. And the final center we're thinking about today is at the top of the head, on the crown of the head. And this allows us to open to the heavens. It reaches out into the streets, the passing ambulances, the rain in the sky, the birds and the people around. Like a fountain, it connects, allowing it to be open, not blocked. So there's an upward flow through the whole spine, and right through the top of the back of the head. Maybe we can feel our posture becoming a little more erect as all those connections are made.